Hello, everyone. Bear with me. I think I got this to go. This is usually Tag's thing and not mine. So hopefully you can all see and hear me. If someone can do me a huge favor and in the comments box, just let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me and if everything looks normal. That would be awesome. But yeah, super excited to be here. Tag, as you know, is on his European adventure, as I like to call it. I want to say they are. Thank you very much, Kareen. I feel much better knowing that I'm not just talking to myself. But Tag and James are in Poland right now. So they're on, I think this is like officially stop one of their European tours. So yeah, super excited for them. They are actually visiting with their exchange student. He was the lucky exchange student that got to go to D23 with us back in 2019, which seems like so long ago, but it also wasn't that long ago. But yeah, very exciting for them. But I hope everyone's having a good evening. Yay! You can hear me clearly. You don't understand. I was so nervous because like I said, I do a lot of the social media stuff, like posting. I'm not a professional with it by any means, but that's me. And Tag does all the technical stuff. So this is 100% like I just show up and talk for these things. Tag's the one that like makes it happen and gets it out into the universe. So he showed me how to do it when we did this last month. So I was like, please remember how to do it. Cause of course I didn't write notes cause I didn't think, I wasn't thinking ahead, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Megan. These ears are from All Enchanting Ears. They surprised me with these last fall before we went to Oogie Boogie Bash and D23 last year. But I think they're so fun. So I'll pop them off and show them real quick. So here's Oogie Boogie. Well, no, not Oogie Boogie. Sorry. This is Lock, Shock, and Barrel, the masks. I think it's so fun. Also, this is the best part about these ears is you can just pop them on and off. So when I go on attractions, I don't take the headband off. I just take the ears off. And then here's Mr. Oogie Boogie. He looks so good. But yeah, I love him. But I figured since we're talking Oogie Boogie Bash today, why not dress the part? I'm also wearing my Oogie Boogie Bash t-shirt from the first year, 2019. I really liked this design. I wasn't as big of a fan of the design that they had the last couple of years. But this first one I thought was great because they actually showcased the villains. Most of the villains that are on here were present, and yeah, it was really fun. But I'm super excited about Oogie Boogie Bash. It's, as you know, one of our favorite things to do at the park. Definitely our favorite after-hours event. And tickets go on sale this week. They go on sale the 27th for key holders, and then I want to say it's the 29th for general public. So fingers crossed we're going to get the dates that we want to get so we can go to Oogie Boogie Bash. It's going to work out perfectly because there's Oogie Boogie Bash dates around when we were planning to be out there anyways for the Disneyana event. So we're really excited, really, really excited. We were hoping that maybe one more star could align, but it's going to have to be a different year. We really want to make it out and do. Terry Hardin has a pumpkin carving, pumpkin sculpting, not carving class. And yeah, we really want to make it out there. Thank you, David. I'm telling you, I was nervous. I'm like, usually I bounce stuff off Tag, so I'm just going to have to... I appreciate all the audience participation today, so I have stuff to kind of bounce off of since I don't have Tag here. Construction in Fantasyland. So, that's a good question, Mel. So, it's just a couple of weeks that things are down currently, but both Alice and I want to say Peter Pan are going to go back under refurb. So they've got stuff going on now. The rumor mill has it that they're fixing something to do with the roof. And since all of those attractions are they're all under literally the same roof. That's why all three of them on that side have to go down. So I don't know when everything's going to be fully done though, because I don't know what the dates are for the second round closures for sure Alice, and I want to say the other one that's getting a second round closure is Peter Pan, but hopefully soon. I just feel bad since it's right the start of summer and half of the Fantasyland dark rides feel like they're closed. So, but obviously maintenance and stuff like that's very important too. But anyways, so back to Oogie Boogie Bash, because I don't know. I'm just a fool for Oogie Boogie Bash. I was so excited that we were able to give away a ticket to one of our patrons. That was really, really exciting and really, really fun to do. The person that won is like over the moon, and this will be their first Oogie Boogie Bash, so I think that's even cooler. And they're actually looking at going, just so happen to be going about the same time as we are, so that's even more exciting. But yeah, super excited. Very excited indeed. But so not only are tickets going on sale this week, they also made some announcements. Well, not really announcements. They did some teases for the Oogie Boogie Bash, which of course we'll discuss with Lynn this week in the podcast, but I want to talk about them with you guys to see what your thoughts were. So they teased some returns, which looks like we're going to have the return of the Sanderson sisters, aka Minnie, Daisy, and Clarabelle. They're coming back. They also teased that Bruno will be coming back. They didn't say, though, if Bruno and the Sanderson sisters, if they're just meet and greets again, or if they're going to have their own treat trails. So we don't know that specifically. But the big one that kind of took me off guard, because this character, I was so good, one of my favorites. But it looks like Sid will not be returning this year. And in Sid's place, Lotso Bear will be there. They haven't actually announced this. This is just all through photos. But they released a photo of Lotso in the exact same space that on Pixar Pier where that little amphitheater thing that Sid was at. So I have mixed feelings because Sid was so good. He was so good. The interaction with the crowd was amazing. It was so fun to sit in that line when you were waiting to hear all of the bickering that he would do with people as they walked by. He was picking on me last year, and Teg even got it on film. Yay. But he was picking on me because I was bounding as Madam Mim, and she was at the Oogie Boogie Bash, so he was joking like, aren't you in the wrong spot? Aren't you supposed to be over there? So I just thought he was such a fun character, and the cast member that they had portraying Sid, I thought did such a great job. And the fact that they found someone that looked like a grown-up version of this person from the animated film, I thought was just just amazing, just super amazing. So they haven't talked about if Ernesto will be back. They have not talked about if my fave Madam Mim will be back or Mother Gothel. They haven't really teased or talked about anything else. I did like what they did last year, though, with how they had those clues, and we all had to try and guess who the new villains were going to be based on the clues. I thought that was really fun. But they haven't really released anything. We just know, like I said, we just know that Lotso is going to be back. So what are our thoughts on Lotso replacing Sid? Like I said, I've got mixed emotions personally. I think Lotso will be interesting, but I don't know if I'm going to feel as big of a pull or a draw to go to the far back corner of the park to see Lotso. He's not personally one of my favorites. He is a very evil villain. I will say that. But anyways, what are your thoughts? Or who are some villains that you're hoping have not been at the Oogie Boogie Bash that you're hoping that maybe they will bring to the Oogie Boogie Bash? I'd be interested in your thoughts on that as well. But yeah, and who else is going to Oogie Boogie Bash, or who is wanting to go sometime and hoping that they can go? It's seriously so fun, you guys. Seriously so fun. See, that's how I'm feeling too. Thankfully, the internet is not feeling that same way, and the internet's excited, so that's good. But my guess is maybe they weren't able to get Sid to return this year, and maybe that's why they're switching him out, because I feel like he was really, really popular. But if I don't make it back to see Lotso, I don't think I'm going to feel like I missed out, if that makes sense. Poised and ready to get tickets on Tuesday. Same here. And they're doing it to us again. Tickets will not be on sale earlier than 9 a.m., but they haven't actually said what time. So I'm going to be the crazy person with multiple screens open while I'm at work. Trying to, hopefully my boss isn't watching, but no, I always give him a heads up that, hey, just so you know, if I suddenly get really distracted, it's because I'm trying to buy tickets to a Disney event. Thankfully, he approves of my obsession, but I just, ooh, but yeah, I'm nervous. But for those of you like Megan, if this is the first time you've done Oogie Boogie Bash and had the pre-sale, it was really easy last year. I was very happy that going and doing the Magic Key early sale, we were able to get what we wanted. It went really, really smooth for me. So I'm fingers crossed, hoping that it's going to do that again. Last year, tickets did sell out really fast. I want to say they sold out within like three or 4 days or something. They sold out really, really fast. So October 22nd, that'll be a fun time to go right before Halloween. It's also a nice time to go too because you can see, like, you'll be able to watch other people's experiences. You can watch YouTube videos of other people that have gone, or you can listen to podcasts. That'll be after we've gone. And so you can kind of get tips and tricks from people before you go. So you can kind of have a plan of attack before you go in. That was before my first Oogie Boogie Bash. I did that. I definitely did that. I also was trying to I like figuring out where the characters are all going to be set up so we can kind of make our plan as to how we're going to see everything, because oh my gosh, it's so fun. I wish now that I've experienced another After Dark event. However, I did hear that Pride Nights was set up a little bit more like Oogie Boogie Bash, where you just kind of did your walk by character. There was more walk by character interactions versus just standing in line to then take a couple of photos to then continue on with your night. That's always just hard. I mean, is it great to get those photos right there with the character, standing right next to him? Yes, 100%. But it eats up so much time to stand in those lines and to get those photos that I would rather see and do more things. That's more important to me, to do a lot of things instead of only do a few things and have, I don't know. Like when we saw Queen Amidala for Star Wars Night, we waited like a grand total of like 2 hours to see her, and it was like 2 minutes that we got to hang out with her. So it's like, to me, that's hard. That's a lot of time spent for a very little interaction. So that's what I love about Oogie Boogie Bash. The line's always moving, plus you're getting candy while you're waiting in the line, and then you still get these really great character interactions we posted it on our Instagram page, some of the fun interactions that we had when we were there last year. But they're just so fun, and it doesn't feel like such a time suck because it's the whole time you're doing things that's enjoyable. Let's see. Yes, seriously, watching YouTube stuff, to kind of get an idea of what you're getting into, especially if it's your first time, super, super helpful. I know Fresh Baked always has really great videos. Ordinary Adventures goes too. So some of our faves are always there. They're usually there like the first night, which I think I've decided if I were to live out there, as much as I would want to go on first nights, I think first nights are hard because they're trying to work out all the bumps. So I think first nights are always kind of the imperfect nights, which you will notice on the pricing calendar. They do seem to be typically one of the lower priced nights is the first nights. And I think that's on purpose because they know that there's going to be hiccups. So I guess as long as you know that there's going to be hiccups, it's fun to do first nights. But you kind of, you're going in blind. You don't know what you're doing. But so Mel, the Bruno face character, let me see if I can find it, because the Disney parks did post a photo of Bruno. We did meet him last year, and I thought he was good. He had the mannerisms down so well. It was so good. So let me see if I can find real quick the one that I saw on Instagram from Disney parks. Disneyland parks. So, Megan, that's so fun. Had she been to an after-hour Disney event before, or was that her first time? The other thing I can't get over is the amount of candy you get on these street trails. Like, it's crazy. Let me see if I can make this any bigger for you. You know what? I'll just pull up the photo from Tag and I meeting him last year. How about we just do that? Because then I can make it as large as we need to be able to see him. He was so good. I do think it's a different person. I feel like I zoomed in as much as I could to try and... Let me move this over to the side. There he is. I'm so bad at doing these things. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. But there he is. He's pretty good. He was really good. Ben, I agree. I mean, again, I feel like I'm like, oh, yes, I know. I don't know. But we've only done 2, and I do think that our Star Wars night was not perfect just because the weather was a big factor. Just a little bit of sprinkle seemed to really make a really big difference in what they were able to do entertainment wise and what they weren't. But Oogie Boogie just has so much going on. So yeah, it's really hard for the other events to kind of top that. However, again, from what I saw about Pride Night, that looked pretty amazing. I wish I would have been able to experience that. That looks so, so, so cool. That's so fun, Megan, that it was her first time at Disney for a while, plus, you know, like getting, you know, to relive your childhood, to go trick-or-treating. So cool. I'm going to have to remember to bring an extra suitcase, or at least an extra bag, to pack all of the candy. Because if everything times out well, we're basically doing Oogie Boogie Bash and then the next day getting on the plane. So there's no way that I'm making a dent in that candy before we get on the plane. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with all the, like, fruits and veggies that they give out, which I don't know what it is, but the grapes and the apple slices that they give you are always, like, extra delicious somehow. They're so good they taste like candy. But so I'm going to have to make sure we get all those taken care of. And I don't know what it is, but they have these, like, what are they? They're like these little bug-shaped graham crackers that they hand out too that are just super good. Can I find them in the store? No. So I don't know. I love them. I would eat them all year round if I could, but I like hoard those. When I got home last year, I told Vern he could share any of my candy he wanted, but those graham cracker bugs, hands off. Those were mine. All right, Ben, you did Sweethearts Night. 40 minutes for a Haunted Man. Yeah, wow. See, okay, Ben, that's me too. Like, that's great that the rides have short wait times, but yes, I want to do things that I can't normally do. So they need to find some better balance. And I don't know, I think if it was more like Oogie Boogie Bash, where it was just kind of quick in and out, or maybe since PhotoPass is... I think all after hour events, photo passes included, maybe not allow people, because right now they're taking photos with your personal device if you want, plus the photo pass photos. Maybe they get rid of doing the personal device photos and only let you do photo pass photos. But it's just hard because you want to make sure that everybody gets an experience with the character once they finally get up there. But the longer you take, the longer the character experiences are for each group, that adds up, which then... it's just a bad domino effect. That makes the waits longer, and it's just, these parties go by so quick because in the grand scheme of things, they're not that long. So you have a limited amount of time to try and do all these really cool and really amazing things. I do think we decided as a group, the DL Weekly crew, that if the 4 of us do another after hours event, that's not Oogie Boogie Bash, we're not going to wait. We're not going to stand and wait and get photos directly with the characters. We'll kind of do like walk by photos with the characters instead. It makes makes it, I think, be much, much easier. Yes, that's the other thing too, is trying to get the specialty food that was harder than I thought it was going to be for when we did it with Star Wars night. We were fortunate because there were other weekly tiers in the park. So when we were standing and waiting in line to get a photo with Ezra and Sabine, they actually were ordering and getting our food for us at the Jolly Holiday because they just happened to be at the Jolly Holiday getting their stuff and said, hey, was there something you guys wanted here? This is where we are. I'm like, oh, perfect. So they grabbed food for us. So super shout out to you, Deanne. Thank you for doing that. Because, yeah, otherwise getting food would have been like this whole other weird thing to try and figure out. But I'm trying to think. We've done the dining package for Oogie Boogie Bash. I think otherwise I've grabbed, it was, I think, the worms and dice and everything nice adult beverage that had I don't have them up here, but they had, I wanted this drink just because of the glow. It was Oogie Boogie's dice glow cube forms in this drink. It was so, so cool. But I will say that the Wine Country dining package was so, so good. So good. And you're able to book your time for the dining package for before the party officially starts. So that's our number one tip and our number one thing to do is we really like that dining package. We don't necessarily, the parade viewing's okay. For me, you don't do that dining package for the parade viewing spot. It is nice to have a reserved spot, but you don't need to do it because there are plenty of spots and space open. In fact, this last year, twice now, the last 2 years we did it. Instead of going to the reserved spot, we found our own spot that we liked better. But the food is so good. And the fact that you have like a sit down meal before the party starts, you don't feel like you don't get snacky. Like, well, if you get snacky, you've got all of your trick-or-treating stuff with you, but you don't feel like you have to stop and get food later. And so I feel like you have more party time to devote to doing all the fun stuff instead of waiting to get food. So I really recommend doing the Wine Country Trattoria dining package before Oogie Boogie Bash starts. And it ends up being kind of a weird time. Like, it ended up being kind of like a between lunch dinner kind of a time, but it worked out perfectly for us. That's a good tip, Vegas Disney travelers. Order early in the day and stagger your wait times. The hard thing, though, with some of these after-hour events, though, is it's specialty food specific to that event. So you can't, like, for Star Wars night, even with mobile order, the specialty menu didn't show up until, like, the clock flipped over to 8 p.m. So you couldn't plan too far in ahead. But same thing though with the physical menus, is if you walk into say it was Red Rose Tavern, right at 8 o'clock, your new party menu items would be available, even if like the app says that the next window isn't until, 10 p.m. or whatever. So I think another tip too that we learned from going to the Star Wars night was, yes, mobile order is great, but it might not work it may or may not work to your advantage. However, if you just show up to the location at the right, at the start time, you can get some of the themed food. Because for a lot of times there's kind of an intermix where the party starts at 8, but not really, because it's going to start at 9 because they need to make sure that all regular day guests have left the park. So there's kind of this weird in-between time where they're filtering to make sure everyone leaves. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what kind of fun foods they have for Halloween time. That's the other nice thing, too, with Oogie Boogie Bash is a lot of the food you can get during the day as well. And it's not just specific to the party. It's just kind of generically on their Halloween-themed menu. I'm really hoping that Madam M comes back now that we're talking about this. Hi, puppy. We're dog sitting for some people, and one of the dog sitting dogs just came up here and was sneezing next to me. So I'm like, what is going on? You're not Luna. No. Anyways. Sorry. Easily distracted by four-legged fluffy things. That is me. Does anybody have any questions about Oogie Boogie Bash or anything I can help with? Deanne, this dog's name, his name is Teddy. Let me see if I can grab him real quick. Nope, he's wandering away. He's a little Shih Tzu mix. He's very sweet. His sister, though, her name is Cookie, and she's feisty. But she's feisty. She takes a little bit to warm up to people, but Teddy was named appropriately because he's basically like a little teddy bear. Aren't you, bud? My dogs were up here for the first stream, but they must have both gone downstairs. They got sick of me. Yeah, exactly, Deanne. Sweet and salty. That's exactly right. But yeah. Now, the next thing that I'm going to have to try and figure out, I was able to convince Tag to dress and do a Disney bound with me last year for Oogie Boogie Bash. So I think it's probably safe to say that I can convince him to do another Disney bound. But now the next question is, who should we dress as? It's such a... there's so many good choices that it's hard to decide who to go as because, I mean, there's so many good choices. We were super fortunate. I don't know if everyone knows this, but our friends over at All Enchanting Ears, they do these awesome 3D printed ears, which is phenomenal. But if you contact them, they also do... speaking of All Enchanting Ears, Dana Racing Team, Lori, is All Enchanting Ears. But they do custom work. So last year, Lori was super awesome enough to custom... Whoop! Throwing things around, to design with me these ears to go with my bounds. So I need to get this little thing out of the way so I can see what I'm doing here. But yeah, so these were the ears that I wore last year. Mim in her dragon form and her like human form. And I got to see if I can find tags really quick because we went as Madam Mim and Merlin. Here they are. I forgot how funny these were. And we got so many compliments on these. But yeah. If you need help with your bound, get a hold of Lori and she can help design some really amazing ears with you like she did with us. Super, super fun. I should have had this shifted over before because... Well, and see, this is the other cool thing. Tag and I were looking, we're like, oh, you could wear, like, both of the, like, you could switch them up. So, like, you could wear their, like that, or, like, oops. You could wear them like this. You know, that could be another set, too. But we went as we were specifically the wizard duel from the movie. Now I want to watch the movie. We were just talking about The Sword and the Stone when we just got done with our supporter hangout, and we are just talking about The Sword and the Stone. And yeah, now I really want to watch that. So Megan, this is the best part. Watch. So I've got the headband on, right? So I can just pop these guys off, and I can pop the new ones on. Why do I keep flipping these around? Can't take me anywhere. But they just like snap right on. And the best part is during like an attraction, instead of taking the entire set of ears off, you just pop these guys off and you can ride the attraction with your headband still in and then just pop them back on. And the thing that I really appreciate is how easy it is to pack. It's so easy for me to pack multiple pairs of ears because they're way more compact than, you know, your traditional set of ears. So super, super fun. Lori. It's like changing it, like you're changing in public. It's like, she shouldn't be able to do that. What is she doing? But yeah, super fun. So I'm going to have to start thinking. I'm going to have to start thinking of interesting bounds that Tag and I can do that's simple enough that I can get him on board. I'm looking at, I don't know if that'd be a good one or not. We have some figurines up by the camera here, and I'm looking at one of them. I'm thinking, could that be an idea? Could we maybe go along with that, or do I want to do something different? I don't know if we want to stick with, like a hero and a villain kind of duo. So you could do like Yzma and Kronk, for example, or like Oogie Boogie and Jack Skellington, or, you know, that kind of thing. Or what we want to do. Maybe I could convince him to do this one. We'll see. We'll have to see. I'm also trying to debate if I want to do. So last year, I think we kept it a secret until like the reveal when we were at the park. So that's a fun thing too, is like, do we keep it a secret and make it like a fun reveal, or do we let you guys know ahead of time and go that route? Maybe we'll have to put a poll out. Like if I come up with a couple of different ideas, put out a poll and see what everybody votes on as to what we want to do. Decisions, right? Well, how about you? Are you someone that dresses up for Oogie Boogie Bash? Someone that wants to dress up for Oogie Boogie Bash, or someone that's like, I don't need to dress up, but I enjoy everybody else's costumes? Some really creative, really talented people that go to Oogie Boogie Bash and have these just amazing, elaborate costumes that you're just looking at them. You're like, how did you even do that? Like our simple basic bound, it took me a while to get the right pieces together for my bound, and that was like 2 things, you know, like, so these people have these amazing elaborate costumes. Are just like, kudos to you, because it was tough for me to do this little simple thing. Vegas did, Minnie and Mickey, that's fun. Keep it a secret until Oogie Boogie Bash unless you tell me. That's hilarious. Ben, I understand. Suitcase space is hard. So that's why we did bounds last year, and the ears really pulled the bounds together and made it not a costume, but at least people didn't have to try and read between the lines. Ooh, Lori, Murphy, and Mickey. That's fun. Haunted Mansion characters. Ooh, that's a good one too. This is the problem. The possibilities are endless because there's so many amazing things that you could be. Murphy and Mickey. Oh, you're breaking my heart, Lori, with Murphy. You're breaking my heart. Hopefully, we'll have more of an idea of what the fate of the future for, there's no fate because Fantasmic is not going away, dang it. But we'll see what the future is looking like for Fantasmic. Hopefully we'll know more around Oogie Boogie Bash time, because poor Murphy. Poor Murphy. That is true. And he loves Sorcerer Mickey, Lori. That's the other thing that I would have going for me with that as well. He loves Sorcerer Mickey. Plus, he would be able to do the choreography. Yeah, I'll have to put my thinking cap on. We can also do. You can even bound or dress as attractions. Of course, you've got you could do characters like Vegas Disney Traveler said, Haunted Mansion characters. You could do Pirates of the Caribbean characters. You could do. You could be an attraction vehicle if you wanted. I mean, there's so many cool things. We could go as Elliot. Where is my pointing? There we go. We go as Elliot. Jungle Cruise would be another fun one. What do you guys think of this print? I love this print so much. I just got this print at the last Disneyana event. I bought a ton of stuff from this artist, and I am in love with it. I just love the style so much. It's creative to Creative D2R is the name. I just love it. But look, I was so proud of myself for finding this frame too. Isn't this fun? It's called Pool Party. I just think that's so fun. I can't see if you guys can see it or not. Don't mind the light. But yeah, super fun. I told Tag I was going to do a refresh of the studio, so we've got some new stuff on the studio wall behind me. So new stuff for you guys to look at. So we've got our popcorn bucket collection up here. So Oogie Boogie is mine. Whoop. Elliot, that's my Elliot. I got it when I got it from someone, they gave it to me in the plastic, and now I've got this really tough crossroads here that I'm like, do I leave him in the plastic? Because I feel like most people do not have popcorn buckets that are still in the plastic, because they usually take them out of the plastic before they hand them to you. So I've got a dilemma. I don't know what I should do with Elliot, but he's currently sitting in the plastic still, because I'm not sure if I should open the plastic or not. I don't know. And then the Mickey popcorn bucket and the cauldron, those are both Tags. We've got a designer. Ooh, I'm so bad at this. A designer Partco bag behind us. That's the plaid. This one is this is Rick Law. The guy that was just on. He did this. This is Walt's Barn. And when we met him last spring, I purchased this from him. So I love it. It's been on the back of the podcast space ever since I bought it, basically. And then we've got a Steamboat Willie back there. He's been back there for a while. That was a promo poster for Galaxy's Edge that we got. I want to say it was in one of our hotel rooms for something. I don't remember why exactly we got it, but it was really, really cool. The Walt Disney Studios pennant thing there, that was a D23 giveaway. This is really fun. A weekly tier went to Tokyo Disney and sent us a postcard from Tokyo. We have our Here You Leave Today entrance plaque here. That was also from All Enchanting Ears. And then over here, you guys don't get to see this part of the podcast studio very often, because Tag's usually sitting here, so you can't quite see all this stuff. But we've got some of our All Enchanting 3D printed ears here. We've got a park map that was gifted to me by a listener. But this little white basket of clutter is really fun. Anytime Weekly Tiers send us cards, postcards, holiday cards, any of those sort of things, I'm a nerd and I keep them. And so this is a lot. This is different things that Weekly Tiers have sent us over the years that I've hung on to. And we've got a couple of things too that some people that were on the podcast maybe sent us or gifted us, and that's kind of like my little memories basket thing. Like I said, not everything's in there, but there's a lot of different cards and stuff in there, because I think it's so cool. It's so cool. But yeah. Oh, and then our calendar that I'm usually really bad at remembering to flip over. However, we're still in the correct month for now. But yeah, Tag's usually sitting here, so you don't really see that corner of the studio as much. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed our my fun little tour of the podcast studio while we're sitting here. Yeah, no, that's one of the reasons that we did the shelves, was so that we could swap stuff out. We didn't do a really good job. It just kind of sat the same for a long time. So I told Tag, because I had gotten the new artwork, I was like, we need to switch stuff out. I want to switch stuff out. Ooh, Disneyland trivia. How many cars made up the first generation monorail trains? That's tough. I'm going to say 7. That's just my random guess. I have no idea if that's right or not. Oh, I'm thinking it's either 7 or 5. 3? Wow. Okay, I was way off. Way, way off. That's what we love about trivia, right? We learn new things. Super fun. Does anybody else have any questions or anything else you'd like to chat about before we wrap things up? Oh, one fun thing. I don't think I've actually announced this for the podcast. We talked about it for our Patreon supporter hangout that just finished up. But Vern and I are going to be heading out to Seattle area at the end of July to attend the Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet, and I'm really, 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 really excited. So my thing is Disney and Disneyland, as you all know. But Vern's thing that he really enjoys is running, and he's been working on running a marathon in all 50 states. He's currently done, I think, 18 states, and it just so happened that the same weekend Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet is happening, there is a marathon like 30 miles away in Washington, and he has not run a Washington marathon yet. So he gets to do his fun thing that weekend, which is running and marking off another state, and I get to do a Disney thing. So I'm very, very, very excited. Let's see, Deanne, anything going to temporarily replace Phantasm? No, nothing that we know of yet. So they teased that something was that there was gonna be some other nighttime entertainment, but they haven't said what it is. They haven't even done a good enough tease to actually even be able to direct us to know, oh, it's for sure this, or oh, it's for sure that. So something's supposed to be coming, but they announced something's coming, but nothing's come yet, and no new news on it either. Ooh, more trivia. What attraction when the park opened was started a full year before the park opened? I'm going to say the Jungle Cruise. Do you know what days you're going to Oogie Boogie Bash, and are your husbands going? No husbands this time. It'll be just Tag and I, and our plan is we'll be out the first part of October. We're going out for the Disneyana event, which is October 7th, and our hope is to be at Oogie Boogie Bash. We're shooting for the 8th, but our backup plan is the 5th, because we should, with how our flights are hoping, like with how our days off are, we should be able to make either one of those. So that's what we're hoping for. We'll see if we're lucky enough to get the tickets. I'm hoping. Last year we had really good luck. I should knock on all of the everything, all the wood, because I'm gonna jinx myself. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, super fun, Lori. I want to say, I think I heard that some of the concierge people are going to be out, just happened to be out during that same period of time. So it's going to be super, super fun. Very, very fun. Just to the parks, Lori, one of these years, you got to do the Oogie Boogie Bash. It's so fun. It will change your life. Never did I know that there was going to be an after hours event that I felt like I had to go every year, because it's just so much fun. But I love Oogie Boogie Bash so much. So much. So maybe one of these years it'll line up that you're able to go to, Lori. Oh, now Cookie's up here. No, my own dogs aren't coming to visit me. It's the ones that we're babysitting. Oh my, Lori, that's crazy that Quinn's gonna be in kindergarten. That's wild. How many attractions are finished and mostly working on opening day? Ooh. Got to think about this one. I don't know. I was just trying to go through in my head and try and remember what all the opening, what was there. I'm just going to throw a number out there. I'm going to say 17. I don't. Just throw numbers out there. I know you had Fantasyland. That's where the happenings were. The hard thing for me is hey, that was pretty good. What was considered an attraction in Tomorrowland? Because some of those things were not rides, but they were still attractions. So they're moving back. Lori, we're going to have to talk about that. You didn't even get to go visit before they moved. Mel, I'm almost positive that the Villains Grove, that's what it's called. I'm almost positive Villains Grove will be back. That has been there since the beginning, and it is crazy popular. The nice thing, too, with Villains Grove is that it's a lot of the stuff was like when they put it in the first year, it's permanent there. So it's not like there's a lot of extra work. Like there's setup, of course, but they don't have to do as much installation like they did that first time. So I think it's pretty easy for them to relatively easy for them to bring Villains Grove to life. And the cool thing about Villains Grove is now I'm second guessing myself. I'm trying to remember if the I think it's still open during the day. Like I think you can still do the challenge, the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail activities during the daytime, and then they just flip on like the mists and all of the amazing effects to turn it into Villains Grove for party night. So I think that's the other really important thing, is that it doesn't shut down that section of the park the entire time Oogie Boogie Bash is going on. They can just transition it during the party for this extra fun thing to do. It's so cool. I want to say each year we've walked through it twice every year. It's amazing. My advice is, if you've never gone and if you plan on going, try to do it during one of the parade times. So they usually have 2 times that they run the Frightfully Fun Parade during the Oogie Boogie Bash. So if you can go to, I don't know, pick one of the parade times that you're going to go to. So say you're going to camp out and do the early parade, then go ahead and do during the second showing of the parade, then head back and do Villains Grove. That's a great time to go back to Villains Grove because you've got so many people that are watching the parade instead. So it's not as crazy. The other thing too is don't let the line scare you, because the line can look crazy intense at points, but it moves really fast. So even if they say it's going to be like 45 minutes or an hour, you probably will get through it faster than that. That was the other thing in our experience anyways. So yeah. Oh, who was the original sponsor of It's a Small World? Was it AT&T was not that, because that was Indiana Jones. I think it was it's a good one. I know it was on one of the cards, like one of the postcards at the end. Monsanto's in my head, but I don't think that's it, because that was like the House of the Future and such. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer, because the only answer I have. Oh, good job, Dan. Good question. Dishman, you need to switch your username on here to like Trivia Man or something. Because you've got some good trivia questions. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Hopefully it was still interesting, even though it was just me. And I didn't really, I just kind of talked. So hopefully stuff that we talked about, I had a lot of fun. I hope you all did too. Oh, that makes sense, Thomas. That makes sense. Well, thank you you went easy on us, because, man, you've got some tough questions. So thanks for going easy on me. But thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Well, with me while I did this. Like I said, I had a ton of fun. I hope you all did too. It will be one more time that it is just me before Tag is back. But then in August, Tag will be back, and we can hear all about his incredible, amazing adventures. So I hope everyone has a good end of your day, end of your weekend, and a really wonderful week. And we'll see you next time.